Hello, everyone, and good morning. My name is Ethan, and this is my brother, Gavin. We are from Scotch Plains, New Jersey, and we are student ambassadors of Ava's Voice. It is our pleasure this morning to introduce Becca Meyers, the keynote speaker. Becca has been someone that we have looked up to as a role model because of her success in Paralympic swimming, as me and Gavin have our eyes set on the 2024 Paralympic Games in Paris. Also, because of her commitment to spreading awareness of the Paralympic community and shining a light on the inequities of the disability community. Her accomplishments are many, and I will let Gavin talk more about how she embodies the motto, dream it, believe it, crush it.
Well, Becca is a 3-time Paralympic gold medalist, 6-time world champion, and she holds 23 American records. And, if that's not enough, 10 world records. She has competed at 2 Paralympic Games, and if once again, if that's not enough, she was recognized as the top disabled swimmer of the year 3 times and won the ESPY Award for Best Female Athlete with a Disability in 2015 and 2017. And she did that all while recently graduating from Franklin and Marshall College. Becca has shown us all that having Usher syndrome does not limit you and encourages everyone to find their passion and not give up. I'd please like to welcome Becca up to the stage and keep crushing it.
Good morning, everyone. I am so excited to be here in person with you at this year's USH Connections Conference. Welcome. It has been a tough couple of years for all of us, but I am so excited that we can finally gather in person and virtually to celebrate each and every one of us today. I wanted to start off with a quote that many of you may already know from Helen Keller. Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. The reason why I wanted to start off with this quote is because, together, the Ushers community, a very unique community, our community, together, we can come together, lean on each other, and learn from one another and achieve great things. Together, we can break barriers, stand up for our dreams, and achieve big dreams. For those of you who don't know who I am a 3-time gold medalist, 2-time Paralympic swimmer, a multiple world record holder, as well as a recent graduate of Franklin Marshall College with honors, I might add. Swimming allowed me to be who I am despite my disabilities. Growing up, I was often known as Becca the swimmer, not Becca the deaf-blind girl, and I loved how my passion for swimming also gave me my identity in the world. Swimming also gave me the ability to disconnect from the world, to forget about my disabilities for a little while after a long day. It taught me to have confidence in myself and to believe that I can achieve big dreams. When I started swimming, I was not the greatest swimmer. I only swam because I loved it. But because I practiced every single day, I grew to be better and better. It was my outlet. So I encourage you to find your outlet. What brings you joy? It does not have to be for a gold medal. It has to make you happy and give you confidence in yourself. I was diagnosed with Usher syndrome type 1 at age 4. My life has never been normal. With Usher syndrome type 1, I was born completely deaf and I have retinitis pigmentosa. I wear 2 cochlear implants that allow me to talk with you here today. I navigate this fast-paced, moving world either with my seeing eye dog, Birdie, or with my cane, and occasionally with a human guide. Along with being deaf and blind, Usher's type 1 also causes balance issues. My balance is off and I walk with a wide gait. With my RP, I have a very narrow tunnel vision, about 5-degree field vision, and I have some holes in my central vision. And one day, I will go completely blind. However, I am optimistic because of donors and researchers like some of you here in the audience today are passionately working on finding cures for Ushers every single day. When I was 12 years old, I started Googling motivational quotes. It was more to motivate me for swimming, but to also help me cope with my disabilities. I would print out these motivational quotes and tape them to the walls in my bedroom. I loved reading these positive, motivating quotes before falling asleep every night. I was surrounded by positivity growing up. When I was at swim practice, my ears were off, and I never really heard the negativity in the water. So I was always thinking positively. I made this a part of who I was as a swimmer and as a person. To this day, I still Google positive quotes because I like finding positive thoughts and feeling positive thoughts, despite my challenges as a deaf-blind person. According to my parents, since day one, I've been fighting to survive all of life's challenges. When I was born, I had the umbilical cord wrapped around my neck 3 times and did not breathe right away. Eventually, I did breathe, but I had to fight. I've had to fight to figure out what it means to be deaf and visually impaired in a world that was not built for people with disabilities. However, growing up, technology, society, and daily life activities have advanced and things have gotten easier. There is more awareness and compassion towards people with disabilities, and life is more accessible today than it was 30 years ago. Or so I thought. Last summer, after qualifying for the Tokyo Paralympic Games, I was denied a resource that would have allowed me to compete in my 3rd Paralympic Games. I have requested a basic and reasonable accommodation of a dedicated personal care assistant, a PCA, or often known in the deaf-blind community, a support service provider, SSP, that I needed in order to be successful at the Games. For me, in order to feel safe and confident to be able to compete to the best of my abilities, I need a dedicated SSP to accompany me on my travels. This is especially necessary for me in new environments, such as Tokyo and the Paralympic Village. I trust my SSP to be my eyes and ears in new environments. Since 2017, I have been given permission to have a person of whom I trust to assist me at all international swimming competitions. This accommodation allowed me to feel safe and confident so that I could then be able to compete to the best of my abilities for which I had been training so hard for. However, last summer, claiming COVID restrictions, I was denied this accommodation that had been put in place for the past 5 years. Instead, I was told that there would be 1 PCA for 34 swimmers and that I could rely on that person when needed. As we all know, these games were unique because of COVID restrictions, such as mask mandates, 6 feet social distancing, etc. How would I be able to see and communicate with people who were in masks and 6 feet away from me? a dedicated PCA was essential and even more critical to have by my side than in the past. Not allowing me a dedicated PCA was a decision that was made not by me, but for me, and that was not acceptable. Due to the pandemic, an unnecessary barrier was put in place so that I could no longer have access to the basic tool I needed in order to be successful. That was a denial of my basic human right as a disabled person. That is why I said no to attending the Paralympic Games. I felt that I needed to speak up so that the next athlete with a disability would never have to make the same agonizing decision that I had to make. Enough is enough. As Paralympians, we train as hard as our counterparts, the Olympians. We deserve the same quality and safety nets that our able-bodied teammates have and continue to receive. I am proud that I stood up for my rights as a deaf-blind person, a person with Ushers. As a society, we need to trust that a person with a disability knows what they need in terms of accommodations in order to be successful, and we need to listen to them. I hope that my story will help you and your loved ones fight for equal access when necessary so that you may enjoy life to the fullest, because we all deserve to find that one thing in life that makes us feel free and to go for it. When I shared my story last summer, the response I received was overwhelmingly positive. I received messages from so many people that were outraged. They were supportive, and they wanted to take action. I was receiving messages from people all across America, from Australia, the United Kingdom, Germany, South America, and even from India. The support was worldwide. People from all different backgrounds came together to share their anger because I was denied a basic accommodation in the year 2021. We came together and connected as a community. Community. That term is so critical to why we are here today. We are here today to support each other, to lean on each other, to learn from one another, to see ourselves in each other. We are all at different stages on this journey with Ushers. Some of us may have just received our diagnosis. Some of us are in denial, and some, like myself, are finally realizing and trying to accept what it truly means to be deaf-blind. But I do know this: I am going to be okay because of my support system, my community. Having Ushers has shown me how important it is to lean on each other. Lean on your support system. Friends, family, members, neighbors, and your USH community. Vocalize your needs and feelings because your support system cannot read your mind and they want you to be able to enjoy all that life has to offer. They want you to have access to all the tools that you need. Remember, right now is the best time to be living with Ushers because of technology advancements and research being done. So I encourage you to take time to explore your resources and use them to the best of your abilities. You are the best judge of what you need in order to enjoy every single day that life has to offer. Create your own path. Trust yourself. Be proud of who you are. I know I am. As of January 8th this past year, I officially retired from swimming. I felt that I could no longer represent an organization that did not support me and my rights. It broke my heart to leave swimming. I was successful. I was proud of what I accomplished in the pool. But as a person with disabilities, I felt I could never allow anyone to tell me what accommodations I need. So what's next for me? Right now, I am discovering who I am as just Becca. The journey is only just beginning, but the future is bright. Please enjoy today. Listen, ask questions, lean on each other, take it all in. Enjoy each other's company in this unique community that we like to call Ushers. Remember, you are incredible. Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. Thank you.